There are some places in this world where you feel, in your very marrow, that you simply shouldn't be. Nature doesn't whisper to you in these places. It screams. It begs you to turn around and leave. It was October 2024 when I first set foot on that land. I had taken over an old estate in one of the most desolate parts of Virginia, deep within the Appalachian Mountains. Even the realtor couldn't quite describe the location on a map. It was a valley where the ancient trees choked out the sky, leaving the ground in a perpetual twilight. When I finally found the house where my Uncle Henry had hidden for 50 years, I understood why no one ever visited him. That house wasn't just made of rotting wood and rusted nails. It felt as if it were built upon a foundation of deep, heavy regret. I stepped onto the porch, and the groan of the floorboards sounded like a dying animal. The house was built of pitch-black timber, looking as if it had sprouted directly from the dark earth itself. Inside, the smell wasn't just dampness. It was a stale, metallic scent. It smelled like old copper. It smelled like blood. Everything was in its place, yet everything felt fundamentally wrong. The clocks on the walls had all stopped at the exact same minute, 3:14 a.m. On the kitchen table, covered in a thick layer of dust, I found a yellowed notebook written in Henry's frantic hand. On the very first page was a warning. "Don't trust the silence outside, Thomas. This silence isn't peace. It's a trap. The mountains aren't watching you. They are listening to you." I started reading the diary. In the early years, Henry seemed happy, almost peaceful. But in the early 1990s, the handwriting began to change. The letters became shaky, the sentences fragmented and paranoid. A note dated November 12th caught my eye. It read, "Today I felt someone watching me from the forest again. But it wasn't a human. It was something else. A very tall silhouette that stood perfectly still among the branches. The village elders call them the breathing shadows. They don't like the light. But you can't stop them from knocking on your door in the dark. But remember, Thomas, they don't really knock on the door. They seep into your mind." I stayed in the cabin that first night. I woke up at exactly midnight. Outside there was an absolute, terrifying silence. No crickets, no wind. Then I heard it. A sound as if someone were walking around the house with bare, heavy feet. Thud, thud, thud. Then a slight rubbing sound on my window pane. Imagine someone slowly dragging their fingernails across the glass inch by inch. I reached for the diary and switched on my flashlight. I saw Henry's underlined warning. "If you hear scratching on the glass, do not open the curtain. Do not look out. Just don't let it see you. If you make eye contact, it counts as an invitation. And once they are invited inside, they never ever leave." I barely made it to morning. My heart was a drum in my chest. I reached the final page of the diary. Henry's last note was from the winter of 2023. It was barely legible. They don't knock on the door anymore. They are inside now. I can't see them, but I feel the air inside the house growing heavy, like lead. Thomas, if you come here, do not look into the mirrors. Your face might not belong to you anymore. They steal your likeness. They steal your soul. At that exact moment, my eyes caught the full-length mirror at the end of the dark hallway behind me. I slowly turned and looked at my own reflection. But my reflection smiled independently of me. That smile wasn't human. It was too wide, stretching almost to the ears, hollow and dark. I didn't wait. I didn't grab my bags. I ran. I'm back in the city now. I thought I was safe. I thought the nightmare stayed in those mountains. But sometimes at night I hear that same scratching sound on my modern bedroom window. Scritch, scritch. And last night when I looked into the bathroom mirror, I saw my reflection still standing in that dark, rotted room in the cabin. I am here, but my soul remains locked in those mountains. If your path ever leads you to the Appalachians, never look back. Because sometimes what follows you is much more than just your shadow.